Hey guys, so this is going to be another book talk about Looking for Alaska. Now this does include spoilers, so if you have not read the book, do not watch this video. Getting that out of the way, we left off with Alaska driving drunk at 3:30 in the morning, with Pudge and the Colonel sleeping in their dorm. Short story, Alaska died in a car crash. She barreled into a police cruiser that stopped because of a jackknifed truck. Now, the Pudge and the Colonel were devastated because of this, more so than everyone else, because they were with her in her final moments, they thought, and they felt like they caused it because they allowed her to leave, even though they knew she was drunk. Now, the Colonel and Pudge have very different means of coping with this. Days after Alaska's death, the Colonel goes and leaves the entire campus entirely, and doesn't return until 3 days. He tells Pudge that he has been walking for 42 miles, and when he got cold, he turned around and walked back. During this time, he also memorized all of the populations of each country. And this is something that the Colonel and Pudge had in common. The Colonel was good at memorizing, like, census facts, such as population, countries, and the capitals of those countries. And this compares to Pudge because Pudge was interested in learning the last words of dead people. But the thing is that Pudge never got to know Alaska's last words. Pudge's means of coping with this was to abstain from any connections with anyone else besides the Colonel. He did this because he felt the connection with the Colonel because they had let Alaska go, and they both felt equally guilty. After this, they started investigating about Alaska's death. Now, 2 or 3 days after she died, they went into a room to see if they could find anything and to clean up before the officers came to take all of her stuff away. And one thing Pudge was interested in was the book with the labyrinth quote, by the biography of Simon Bolivar. And in finding it, he also found a newly written note in it next to the labyrinth quote, saying straight and fast. Almost as an answer, how will I ever get out of this labyrinth of suffering? Straight and fast. Now this also made the Colonel and Pudge question, was this a suicide or was this all a drunk accident? And this knowledge of her writing straight and fast for how will I ever get out of this labyrinth of suffering, out of this labyrinth of life, straight and fast. It's almost like she deliberately did it as she went, barreling into a police cruiser. But again, this almost could never be proven, as the Colonel and Pudge didn't really know what her last intentions were. All they knew was that they let her go. But also, an idea that the Colonel had was to see how drunk Alaska was. And Alaska was said to have a .24 of like drunk rating or whatever that was, blood intoxicity level or something like that. And as the Colonel tried getting to that point, he finally did. But when he did, he realized that he was way too drunk to even see straight and to stand up. He could never walk in a straight line or, as he said, drive in a straight line. And this information points that this might have been an accident, as the Colonel really had no control over what he was doing, as Alaska probably wouldn't have any control over what she was doing as she rammed into that police cruiser. And this is all I'm going to say today. I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Hopefully it's pretty quick. And we'll finish the book tomorrow. Thanks for watching.